Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the four problems that affect the most adolescents. I'm Crystal Medrano.
I'm Reagan Martin.
I'm Jena Garcia.
And I'm Jasmine Rodriguez.
So the first problem that occurs in adolescence is drug abuse. When adolescents use drugs, they're at risk of fights, unwise or unwanted sexual activity, or overdose. Adolescents are easily influenced by their parents. If they see their parents smoking or drinking, they're more likely to become involved in that. Also, if their peers drink or smoke, and then celebrities as well. Common reasons to use for adolescents is to relieve stress, feel a part of a group, seek new experiences, take risks, and cope with disorders like depression and anxiety. Alcohol is the most abused, with 70% of high schoolers using by the time they're seniors. Tobacco, it also has a high use, with 11% smoking within the last 30 days. Like I said earlier, parents who smoke is a predictor for smoking. And then here we have more percentages of illicit drug use, with marijuana being the number one. And then prescription drugs, inhalants, hallucinogens, cocaine, and anabolic steroids. And then here is a graph of adolescents differing from adults in what they use the most. So adolescents is blue, so they use marijuana a lot more than the other age groups. And this can affect key developmental and social transitions. And it can also interfere with brain maturation because they're so young, their brain's still developing.
Okay. So another problem that adolescents face as they grow up is juvenile delinquency. And what causes juvenile delinquency is heredity, family experiences, community influences, and identity problems. So if a teen is having trouble at home, they're going to lean towards drugs and alcohol to help them get through it. And if the community thinks of them as a bad person, they're obviously just going to go with it. Some of the effects of juvenile delinquency is the loss of freedom. So if the teen was to get arrested, they would lose their privileges of going out, seeing their family. Most likely they'd be on probation. Instability on families, so most of their families would break away from each other because they have a troubled child. The community becomes unsafe for others to be in. So since that troubled teen will be living in this community, other adults will think, I can't have my kids around this person. And lastly, society makes them believe that they have no life outside of crime. So since that teen or adolescent is in the life of crime, most adolescents lean towards juvenile delinquency because they feel that nobody could accept them. They feel that they are peer pressure to fit in, and they want to change who they are personality-wise.
Another problem is sexual problems. Causes of sexual problems are sexual exploration and experimentation, and then another one, sexual fantasies and realities. Some risks and some sexual problems are not aware of having STDs, females forgetting to take contraceptives, decreased use of condoms, and unplanned pregnancies. And another one, sexual intercourse happens around the time when a person starts puberty, so these sexual problems happen all at the same time.
And the last adolescent problems is school-related problems. Some major school-related problems are bullying and being peer pressured into doing stuff that they don't want to. A major effect is depression and suicide. Many adolescents that are depressed or suicidal may drop out, and negative effects of dropping out are obesity, poor health decisions, and getting involved in gangs. And we have a video showing more about bullying.
When we think about the differences between girl and boy bullying, we have to recognize that there's a myth associated with this. The general public tends to see girls as engaging in social or relational forms of aggression, where they hold their relationship up and they threaten that relationship, where boys only engage in verbal and physical forms of bullying. In fact, the research is pretty strong to suggest that both boys and girls engage in verbal, physical, and social forms of aggression at the same rate. However, it appears when girls are victims of the mean girl phenomenon, that it does have serious consequences for their academic and psychosocial development, where boys are able to, if they're targeted through social or relational means of bullying, are able to shrug it off and move on. So we do have to recognize that the prevalence, really differences between males and females are not there, but the impact on females tends to be a little bit more problematic.
Oh no.
And this is our reference page.